morning. Please be seated. Welcome to the A.T. Still University College of Graduate Health Studies Class of 2022 Commencement Ceremony. I'm Dr. Norman Gevitz, Senior Vice President, Academic Affairs for ATSU. This is a very special day in the lives of those receiving degrees from ATSU's College of Graduate Health Studies. Family and friends, on behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration, I thank you for joining us in honoring these outstanding graduates and recognizing their great achievement. Graduates, you now have the tools and capacity to continue to make a difference in your communities and in the lives of the people you serve. The degree each of you will receive today is not just a credential, but a testament to your proficiency and competency in mastering a range of difficult subjects. Congratulations, we are proud of you. We wish you the best, and we look forward to hearing from you as you go forward to improving the well-being of your communities. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, would you please stand for our national anthem?
Please be seated. Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Don Altman, Dean of the College of Graduate Health Studies. It is my honor this morning to introduce the stage party. Please hold your applause until the end. Beginning on my right is Dr. Craig Phelps, President of A.T. Still University. Dr. Norman Gevitz, Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs. Dr. Mary Catherine McNatt, Associate Professor and Chair of Public Health. Dr. Aaron Breitenbach, Associate Professor and Chair of Health Education and Education in the Health Professions. Dr. Robert Clegg, Associate Professor and Chair of Health Administration and today's Faculty Marshal. Dr. Tracy Rogers, Assistant Professor and Chair of Kinesiology and today's Student Marshal. On my left is our commencement speaker, Dr. Frank Lavecchio. Dr. Gary Cloud, Vice President of University Strategic Partnerships. Dr. Linda Konechny, Associate Professor of Health Education and Education in the Health Professions, CGHS, Class of 2008, and our alumni induction speaker. And Dr. Terry Wise, Associate Dean of Online Operations. Dr. Sarah Everman, Associate Professor of Kinesiology and today's Grand Marshal. And also seated on stage is CGHS's outstanding faculty. Also in our audience today is Dr. Paul Reichert, former member of ATSU's Board of Trustees. Applause. That silence was almost as long as waiting for the national anthem. Would any graduates, guests, or faculty who are current or retired members of the military or first responders please stand and be recognized? Thank you for all you do for our communities and great country. Please be seated. I would also like to recognize friends and family in the audience today who have supported the graduates on their journey. Please give them all a round of applause. And finally, I would like to introduce the exceptional class of 2022. Graduates, please stand. Please be seated. It is now my honor and privilege to introduce this year's commencement speaker, Dr. Frank Lavecchio. Dr. Lavecchio is the Medical Director of Clinical Research at Arizona State University's College of Health Solutions. He has board certifications in the fields of emergency medicine, medical toxicology, medical forensics, and addiction medicine. Dr. Lavecchio is well known in his field, having lectured in more than 20 countries and authored more than 200 peer-reviewed articles. He is currently researching drug development, drugs of abuse, COVID-19, infectious diseases, and environmental illnesses. Dr. Lavecchio earned his Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine degree from the New York College of Osteopathic Medicine and his Master of Public Health degree from Harvard Medical School, School of Public Health. Dr. Lavecchio has been involved with international medical missions and is honored locally and nationally as a healthcare hero. Please join me in a warm welcome to our 2022 commencement speaker, Dr. Lavecchio.
Wow. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you, Dr. Altman. Thanks to everyone else whose names I forgot already. I apologize about that. I've been allocated 10 minutes, so it usually takes me about 10 minutes to say hello. And I want to say thank you to the graduates. Most importantly, we're here for you. Your families are extremely proud, as we are. Starting today, I say you can change the world. I know that's true because I've lived it. The best way I can honor you today is by telling you the truth, right? I'm going to see you today. I might as well be honest with you. And life at times is going to be hard. In fact, life at times is going to suck. And it is going to be super hard when you're working with patients, working with colleagues, doing your fields. And I think you have to grow from all these rejections. When you start out right now, you're probably saying, I might be a healthcare administrator. Within 2 years, I'm going to be the CEO of this hospital, and within 3 years, I'm going to be the president of all these hospitals. Well, I hate to break it to you. It's not going to happen on your terms. You got to go with the flow. Things are going to hit you from all different sides. You might have a baby. You might get sick. You might want another degree, etc. And I think the one thing I want to tell you is you have to adapt. We always hear about people's successes, and you're probably like, wow, this guy's so accomplished. He's got, 2 or 3 degrees, or this guy, he never missed a shot during the NBA playoffs, and you're really, really impressed, but you never hear about their failures. So, of course, there's some classic failures out there, but I was going to remind you of some. Steven Spielberg, who kind of originates from the Valley, he was rejected from film school 3 times. How dumb do those people feel rejecting him? Walt Disney, I'm sure you all heard of Walt Disney, and he had a job at a newspaper writing and drawing little stuff, and they fired him because he lacked imagination, right? Can you imagine that? And then, of course, everybody knows about Thomas Edison, right, who was asked, many times about his failures, right? And he says, hey, you tried to create this light bulb and you failed 10,000 times. And of course, his reply was pretty witty. And he goes, I just found 10,000 ways of things not working till I found the right one. And I think that's going to happen to you time and time again. I told you when I started here I had 10 minutes, so I was going to tell you all my failures, but that would take about 2 hours. But I will say the way to get through this all is to be resilient and have grit. Those are the two main things I want you to take away. Things are not going to be on your timeline. Be resilient, have grit. It makes me think of some of my favorite animals. Like many of you, I'm a nature lover, and I think about the turtle. The only reason a turtle can move, the only reason a turtle moves, or the only way it moves, is to stick its neck out, right? You never see a turtle moving without its neck out. And you have to do that. There's a couple times in life, in all of your fields, you're going to have to stick your neck out, okay? There'll be challenges. You're going to want to hide in the shell, but eventually you're going to have to try to come out and be more resilient through it. I think about what happened the last few years. And I was trying to think of a medical topic maybe that we could all relate to in the last 2 years, and none came to mind. No, of course, how could you have a conversation these days without talking about COVID? Who saw that coming? And I practice as an emergency physician mainly. I do public health stuff. I do research in infectious disease. I could equivocally say, I hope my children aren't listening, these were the best 2 years of my life. I figured out more of what I could do for patients, people around me, and everything in the world, and found a little bit more purpose. I think about what happened early on in the pandemic. Early on in the pandemic, we had almost no clue about what was happening. I grew up in New York City, and early on, I was involved with the AIDS epidemic, and AIDS was just coming out. We knew nothing about it, and I remember shaking people's hand that had HIV, and everyone said, "Oh my God, you're going to catch HIV that way." That's how novice we were. We didn't know anything about all the medications. We didn't know, there weren't any medications out yet. A new drug was on the horizon called AZT. Well, what happened with COVID is we didn't know much of anything, right? We learned a little bit what was happening in Wuhan, and we were starting to see patients, and they were getting pretty sick and dying, and there was a lot of paranoia, misunderstanding, et cetera. And it makes me think of one patient that really moves me and moved others. He was an elderly man. He was about 85 years old. No offense to anyone here, The saying is, like, you consider someone elderly when they're 10 years older than you, so I'm getting close. He was clearly dying. By all predictors of what was happening in COVID, he was going to die. And like everyone else, he was waiting in the emergency department for his bed. And unfortunately, like everyone else, we wouldn't let family members in. So you could not talk to your family members. He was a very, very kind man who had no idea about FaceTime or even using a phone. Somehow, some way, he talked to me via a translator that he would like to say something to his family. And of course, I was freaking out. How do I get this guy to talk to his family on the phone? How do I do all this? There's no phone in this critical care bed. And I let him use my phone. Like many of you, have an iPhone. And I wrapped it up in plastic, which in retrospect I probably shouldn't have done, put it in a plastic bag, and then tried to dial a number for him. Bad move. You got to dial the number first if that ever happens again. So I give it to him, and I let him, I got to hold the phone because I'm too paranoid to let him hold the phone because I knew nothing about the disease early on. And he is just saying goodbye to his grandkids, his daughter, his son, and I believe his wife. And oh my God, my heart sunk, and it was just moving, and it was terrible in the same way. It was great in the same way. I said, I have to do something about this. I have to make it so everyone in the hospital can say goodbye to their loved ones more respectably. So immediately I called one of my administrators and said, I told them the story. Conveniently, I spoke about it on the news, so they knew there was a little bit of heat on them. And they made it so everybody had iPads in their room. And they would have times that people would call, and then we had certain beds where you could bring patients to the windows so they can kind of see each other through the windows. Not that I was instrumental with that, but it's a team approach. And there's no way I could have done that by myself. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to call. And it's all people like you that can do stuff like that. I remember after that pulling all-nighters, getting a lot of my co-investigators together, and then we got grants. And the first year, we got about $500,000, then it went up to 2.2, and then we just got renewed for $4.2 million to study COVID and the outcomes in, healthcare workers, folks like you, anyone in healthcare, because we're more at risk because we're in the hospital, we're around patients, we're around people. And now, much of you are going to be involved with the next pandemic, probably not monkeypox, but the next pandemic or the residual of this. I know some of you guys are involved even in exercise. Those are very, very instrumental in long COVID, for example. Your ability to live a life, full of meaning and to make the world a braver and kind of place, is up to you. This is like the first day you can do that. What starts here today, you have to, be committed to that. And I've always said, what makes people happy? And when you do surveys of what makes people happy, they always say, yeah, diet and exercise, keeping in touch with friends, that sort of stuff. But the consistent factor, two factors that keep people most happy, one is to have a purpose in life. And your purpose could just be to raise the greatest kids ever and do that. And the second one is not to be so hard on yourself. The second one is very, very hard for me. I try to do that time and time again, and what you have to try to do is realize that you're going to fail. Everyone before you has failed at least, a little bit, and to grow stronger and stronger from that. Of course, there's a lot of sports analogies, and we think about Michael Jordan, who, classically got cut from his high school basketball team. Although that might not be true, it's still a great, great story. I want to say that it's not going to be on your terms. You guys have the perfect map now for that. You have the perfect idea of what's going to happen. It's not going to be like that. Things are going to come your way, and you have to adapt. Again, be resilient, have lots of grit. And I always say that it's very, very hard to beat a person who never gives up. You have to keep going back, keep trying things that are different, okay? I probably slurred a lot. I got a little emotional when I was talking about that old guy. I saw his daughter about a year later, and she looked at me like I was the angel of death. And I had to speak to her through a translator and tell her how sorry I was about her dad. And they were an immigrant family that had 5 people in it, and she was the last one standing from COVID. So, you could really make an impact in everyone's life. I always say that the time you're meeting them in your office, talking to them, they remember that for the rest of their life. I didn't remember this woman. She remembered me, and then quickly I remembered the whole story. But remember, when you're talking to them, it's the most important day of their life. And I always say, treat them like you would your mother. Treat them like you would your family member, okay? I'm going to end where I started. Thank you to everyone. Congratulations. Have lots of grit, be resilient, and adapt to change. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lavecchio. Graduates, it's now your turn. The Master of Education in Health Professions program provides health professions educators, prepares health professions educators by advancing their knowledge and skills in teaching and learning, curriculum development, assessment and evaluation, research methods, and leadership and management, so they may contribute to improving overall population health and further the osteopathic traditions of whole person healthcare through educating the next generation of healthcare professionals. President Phelps, the candidates for the Master of Education and Health Professions have successfully completed the requirements for their degree. Upon recommendation of the faculty and program chair, I have the pleasure of presenting them to you At this time, Dr. Candace Ayers will present the candidates to receive their diplomas. Dr. Aaron Breitenbach will hood the candidates. Will the candidates for the Masters of Education in Health Professions please rise and proceed to the stage?
Alan Haney. Jesse Thompson.
Can I ask you to please turn the house lights on up a little bit, please? I'd like to see who we're giving the degree to. Turn those lights up a little bit, house lights up. Great. Upon the recommendation of the faculty dean and senior vice president of academic affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the state of Arizona, I hereby confer upon you the degree Master of Education in Health Professions with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Will the Masters of Education in Health Professions graduates please stand for conferring the degrees? No, don't. I should read my part and not his. The Master of Health Administration program emphasizes patient-centered care based on holistic health and the total patient. This program provides the core skills of business management in the context of the healthcare environment and provides graduates with knowledge and skills for a career in which they can make a better world by making a difference. President Phelps, the candidates for the Master of Health Administration have successfully completed the requirements for their degree. Upon the faculty and program director's recommendation, I have the pleasure of presenting them to you. Dr. John Fick will present the candidates to receive their diplomas. Dr. Robert Clegg will hood the candidates. Will the candidates for the Master of Health Administration please rise and proceed to the stage?
Morgan P. Hood.
Upon the recommendation of the Faculty Dean and Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the State of Arizona, I hereby confer on you the degree Master of Health Administration, with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
The Master of Public Health program prepares graduates to be leaders in the public health field. The focus is to advance public health, promote individual and community health and well-being, and serve underrepresented populations in efforts to decrease health disparities locally, nationally, and globally. This master's program is designed around a competency-based curriculum closely aligned to health professional standards and incorporates applied and experiential learning activities. Our students graduate with the skills and knowledge necessary to excel in a wide range of public health professions, facilitate change, and promote health in all communities. President Phelps, the candidates for the Master of Public Health have successfully completed the requirements for their degree. Upon the faculty and program director's recommendation, I have the pleasure of presenting them to you. Dr. Greg Lobin will now present the candidates to receive their diplomas. Dr. Mary Catherine McNatt will hood the candidates. Will the candidates for Master of Public Health please rise and proceed to the stage?
Sabrina Fatima Ahmad. Samantha Colquitt. Heather T. Diamond. Shanika Johnson. Yvette Muniz Silva. Stanley Samuel. Jean Nicole Taylor. Kyle J. Willman.
upon the recommendation of the Faculty Dean and Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the State of Arizona, I hereby confer upon you the degree Master of Public Health, with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
You can sit. The Master of Science in Kinesiology program is designed to enable fitness, health, and wellness professions with developing comprehensive knowledge of human movement science, functional anatomy, physiology, kinesiology, behavior change, functional assessment, and exercise program design. Key knowledge, skills, and attitudes learned aim to develop leadership in advanced human movement sciences. President Phelps, the candidates for the Master of Science in Kinesiology have successfully completed the requirements for their degree. Upon the faculty and program director's recommendation, I have the pleasure of presenting them to you. Dr. Sarah Everman will now present the candidates to receive the diplomas. Dr. Tracy Rogers will hood the candidates. Will the candidates for the Master of Science in Kinesiology please rise and proceed to the stage?
I know it's too hard to do.
Patricia Buck Messinger. Emmanuel F. Davis. Mena Gurma. Lindsay Rose Lombardi. Chelsea L. Nettle. Lucia M. Picciano. Jessica L. Reed. Laura Roche Sudar. Alexandra Soki. Eileen Frances Dancel Supan.
Upon the recommendation of the Faculty Dean and Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the State of Arizona. I hereby confer upon each of you the degree Master of Science in Kinesiology, with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
The Doctor of Education in Health Professions program positions graduates for career success in the discipline of higher education curriculum and instruction with a focus on the education of healthcare professions. President Phelps, the candidates for the Doctor of Education have successfully completed the requirements for their degree. Upon the faculty and program director's recommendation, I have the pleasure of presenting them to you. Dr. Terry Wise will present the candidates to receive their diplomas. The doctoral candidates will be hooded by their doctoral research project chairs. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Education please rise and proceed to the stage?
Annette Bettridge, hooded by Dr. Joshua Bernstein. Rovonda M. Bradford, hooded by Dr. Candace Ayers. Kimberly J. Calvert, hooded by Dr. Joshua Bernstein. Marcy Contreras, Doctoral Research Project Chair, Dr. Lara Gray, hooded by Dr. Aaron Breitenbach. Amber M. Hubble, hooded by Dr. Joshua Bernstein. Sam Kazumi, Doctoral Research Project Chair, Dr. Larry Harold, hooded by Dr. Aaron Breitenbach. Monica Roche Key, Doctoral Research Project Chair, Dr. Arsenio Paez, hooded by Dr. Aaron Breitenbach. Kimberly Ann Lay, hooded by Dr. Candace Ayers. Annette M. Martinez, Doctoral Research Project Chair, Dr. Larry Harold, hooded by Dr. Aaron Breitenbach. Rebecca McClellan, hooded by Dr. Candace Ayers. Erica J. Radcliffe Henry, Doctoral Research Project, Olawamni Abasisian, hooded by Dr. Aaron Breitenbach. Brooke J. Redmer, Doctoral Research Project Chair, Dr. Arsenio Paez, hooded by Dr. Aaron Breitenbach. Christopher Shearer, hooded by Dr. Linda Konechny. Emily Shuby, Doctoral Research Project Chair, Dr. Larry Harold, hooded by Dr. Aaron Breitenbach. Stephen Snyder, Doctoral Research Project Chair, Dr. Uluwanmi Obesisian, hooded by Dr. Aaron Breitenbach. Adore G. Tenge, Doctoral Research Project Chair, Dr. Larry Harold, hooded by Dr. Aaron Breitenbach. Sarah Thomas, hooded by Dr. Linda Konechny.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty, dean, and senior vice president of academic affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the state of Arizona, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Education, with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, doctors.
The Doctor of Health Administration program prepares health professionals to become innovative senior leaders and problem solvers within the healthcare industry. By blending the theoretical with the practical, graduates have the holistic knowledge needed to improve and influence healthcare organizations. President Phelps, the candidates for the Doctor of Health Administration have successfully completed the requirements for their degree. Upon the faculty and program director's recommendation, I have the pleasure of presenting them to you. Dr. Terry Wise will present the candidates to receive their diplomas. The doctoral candidates will be hooded by Dr. Robert Clegg. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Health Administration please rise and proceed to the stage?
Antonia C. Anuwa. Dissertation Chair, Dr. John Basuzo. Roxanne Batiste. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Candy Cheddar. Sonia Boggs, Dissertation Chair, Dr. Angel Baez Vega. Emily Bonazelli, Dissertation Chair, Dr. Liwa Dishman. Jessica L. Korick. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Linda Kuntz. Merline Foron. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Montasser Cadre. Michael Hymas. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Lilia Chavarria. Shakita P. Kearney. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Susan Midjanowski. Ivas Y. Lopez Cabrera. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Lewa Dishman. Candice Miller. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Angel Baez Vega. Adelbert M. Montescleros. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Robert Clegg. Shelley Mosier. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Montasser Kadri. Adam L. Pollard. Dissertation Chair, Dr. Candy Cheddar. Jade Wiles Jr., Dissertation Chair, Dr. Angel Baez Vega.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty, dean, and senior vice president of academic affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the state of Arizona, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Health Administration, with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, doctors.
The Doctor of Health Education positions graduates for career success in the discipline of public health, that is, health education. Graduates prepare to apply their knowledge in developing, implementing, and evaluating health education in multiple contexts. President Phelps, the candidates for the Doctor of Health Education have successfully completed the requirements for their degree. Upon the faculty and program director's recommendation, I have the pleasure of presenting them to you. Dr. Terry Wise will present the candidates to receive their diplomas. The doctoral candidates will be hooded by their dissertation chairs. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Health Education please rise and proceed to the stage?
Sharita J. Ambrose, hooded by Dr. Candace Ayers. Thana D. Boyd, hooded by Dr. Linda Konechny. Brock A. Hauji, hooded by Dr. Linda Konechny. Camille D. Johnson Arthur, hooded by Dr. Candace Ayers.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty, dean, and senior vice president of academic affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the state of Arizona, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Health Education, with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, doctors.
The Doctor of Health Sciences degree is designed to provide healthcare professionals with knowledge and skills to excel in project management, decision-making, organizational management, initiative evidence-based standards, and gaining competencies for applying research to professional practice. President Phelps, the candidates for the Doctor of Health Sciences have successfully completed the requirements for their degree. Upon the faculty and program director's recommendation, I have the pleasure of presenting them to you. Dr. Terry Wise will present the candidates to receive their diplomas. The doctoral candidates will be hooded by their applied research project facilitators. Will the candidates for the Doctor of Health Sciences please rise and proceed to the stage?
Adefisayo Adegoke, hooded by Dr. Kathleen Matheson. Julius Alexander, hooded by Dr. Kathleen Matheson. Lisa Asfahani, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Eric Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Sakina E. Backus, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Eric Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Jeffrey L. Bankhead, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Eric Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Michelle J. Barker, hooded by Dr. Kathleen Matheson. Jordan J. Begay, hooded by Dr. Kathleen Matheson. Blake Butel, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Eric Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Gary Cagle, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Tracy Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Nanika M. Chege, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Tracy Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Alicia Comet, hooded by Dr. Kathleen Matheson. Rebecca A. Cozy, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Tracy Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Nicole L. Curtis, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Eric Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Alyssa J. Deal, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Tracy Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Marina B. DiMarzio, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Eric Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Kadar A. Diria, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Patrick Palmieri, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Faith A. Ellsbury, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Tracy Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Mariana E. A. Grass, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Patrick Palmieri, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Melissa Green, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Tracy Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Kendrick R. Henderson, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Eric Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Johnny Hill, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Eric Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Abhishek Jagtop, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Tracy Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Reginald L. Jones, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Patrick Palmieri, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Sarah J. Lamana, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Tracy Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Nicholas Laszlo, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Tracy Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Rose McCullough Henry, hooded by Dr. Kathleen Matheson. Vincent David Monreal, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Tracy Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Courtney M. Putnam, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Patrick Palmieri, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Bonita Rukowski, hooded by Dr. Kathleen Matheson. Jenny Senna, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Patrick Palmieri, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. George Sheriff, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Tracy Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. J.C. Summers, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Patrick Palmieri, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Michael C. Sue, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Eric Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Kelly Thorson, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Eric Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Salima Triki, hooded by Dr. Kathleen Matheson. Dawn Reed White, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Patrick Palmieri, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander. Alana Woolsey, Applied Research Project Facilitator, Dr. Tracy Matthews, hooded by Dr. Jeff Alexander.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty, dean, and senior vice president of academic affairs, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the state of Arizona, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree Doctor of Health Sciences with all the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, doctors.
Please be seated. They're doctors, but they can't find their seat. Since 1892, A.T. Still University has graduated more than 34,000 proud alumni. Today, we welcome you to our family. Representing the ATSU Alumni Association is Dr. Linda Konechny, CGHS class of 2008. Please welcome Dr. Konechny.
Thank you, Dr. Altman. Congratulations. After years of hard work and countless anxious moments, you are graduating. You and your family can be justifiably proud of your sacrifices and your accomplishments. The entire university family applauds your success. As you celebrate this special day and your achievements, let it be a time of reflection on your experience with A.T. Still University, as well as on your hopes and aspirations for the future. Now you are a permanent part of our A.T. Still University family. You join alumni living throughout the world. Will the graduates please stand? As a member of the College of Graduate Health Studies Alumni Chapter, and by the authority vested in me by the ATSU Alumni Association, it is my pleasure and privilege to formally induct you individually and as a graduating class into the membership of the A.T. Still University Alumni Association. On behalf of the other university alumni worldwide, it is also my privilege to welcome you as members of the College of Graduate Health Studies Alumni Chapter. We hope you will become an active member of the association and keep us informed of your success. You may be seated. It is now my honor to welcome President Phelps for his closing remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Konechny. Wow, what a great morning it's been. Just fantastic. Thank you for attending, and all the family members and spouses and significant others who came today. It's a little toasty in Arizona. It's a holiday weekend and a lot going on in the world, so we appreciate you taking time to honor these graduates. We have about a third of the graduating class, probably a little bit over that attended in person this year. So each year that we can do this together, it's a joyous occasion. Want to bring to our attention that this is Dr. Altman, the Dean of CGHS's last commencement. Dr. Altman, if you'll please stand. No diploma for you, but actually he'll be remaining with A.T. Still University, working in our Office of Academic Affairs in the area of accreditation. So we're so grateful for the 10 years that Dr. Altman has given CGHS, and we've seen it grown to a nationwide graduate health sciences program that is incredibly inclusive and represents the university well. And we have the new dean that starts in a couple days, Dr. Hasty. I know you're over there, so everybody is really excited to have you on board and working with us. So wonderful time. Dr. Lavecchio, thank you for your words. That was just amazing. You know, the story of the 85-year-old father, grandfather, son of someone, uncle of someone reminds us of how personal health care should be, and how personal health care is really what A.T. Still University is about, taking care of that whole person, body, mind, and spirit. And I was so happy on the mornings when I'd wake up and see Dr. Lavecchio on television. He was often on commenting about the pandemic, COVID-19, answering questions from reporters and callers, And boy, I said, what a great job he is doing, not only for healthcare, but also for our osteopathic profession. So thank you again for a great message today, something we can all learn from. I'd like to thank the folks at the Mesa Arts Center, and of course, all of the ATSU staff, the COG staff, the Student Affairs, President's Office, Communication Marketing, IT, and many, many more areas throughout the university all get together for what we call the double header today, right? We'll do CGHS in the morning, and then we have our osteopathic medical school in the afternoon. So they put in a long, long day. So I want to give a shout out to all those folks. When I travel around the country, now that the pandemic is somewhat, we should say for the time, we'll say under control, wherever I go across the country, East Coast, West Coast, North, South, if I'm part of a community health center visit or an institutional visit or alumni visit or into offices, I always hear about our CGHS graduates. It amazes me. I'll be on a tour or giving a talk, and afterwards someone will come up and say, just want to let you know that I graduated from CGHS or one of the other ATSU programs. So you have a lot of folks out there to continue working with you and to be part of your team. And as mentioned earlier, you're an incredible part of that team in the areas of kinesiology, health administration, public health, education. All of the areas of our folks that had degrees today will be doing amazing things and helping to have that quilt of healthcare that we all need. And it has to come from parts of all of us to create that and to do it in a very effective and positive way. And it's no more important in the history of the United States than it is today. This is one of the most important days of your personal and professional life. In several minutes, when you walk through those doors for the rest of your life, you will continue to make a huge positive impact in healthcare. More importantly, those sitting before you, next to you, and behind you will support and continue to support you throughout your career as you dedicate yourself to the most humble of all callings, taking care of other humans. You have what our nation needs, and in fact, what our world needs. As our founder, Dr. Andrew Taylor Still emphasized in his works, finding disease is fairly simple, but helping our patients find health, that is our true mission. No one is better prepared than you, and no one can do it better than you. Opportunities you have yet to dream await you to seize and realize our future is in your hands. Until we meet again, congratulations and Godspeed.